That is a tasty beverage. Welcome back to Sippin With Sin, number one podcast about stuff and things that are important to everybody across the world, across the astral plane, from Haddonfield to Crystal Lake. It is the number one podcast. Don't question it. Just accept it in your heart of hearts, soul of souls. It is what it is. And, it is. Episode 118, spooky season in full effect. And when this episode drops, actually, I believe the following day this will be the day before Halloween. So happy Halloween to everybody.
Happy Halloween.
The best holiday. I will die on that hill. It is my favorite holiday. It has been so since I was a wee little lad, and it will continue to be so because Halloween is amazing. So happy Halloween, everybody. Day early. And And as you heard him speak, our esteemed colleague is back again, once and forever. Mr. Christian, welcome him back.
It's good to be back. I mean, we are literally so close to our gracious day that I can smell it at this point, and it's fantastic.
Does it smell like vanilla?
It does not smell like.
Does it smell like lemons or oranges? Since you're like super summery right now.
Super summer, yeah.
Those are not watching. Christian's like full fledged, like he's about to go on a Bahama cruise or something.
Yeah, this is a full ass work fit that I have on right now. I work around the youth, so I like to keep things bright. And I got so much horror stuff that I can't wear. Like, speaking of, there's like two new sweaters that I have that I can't even wear because horror. I'm actually gonna show the audience that are watching this on like YouTube or live or whatever. Like, I'm gonna grab them real quick so I can show you.
And for those that are watching YouTube or on Kick, we are joined by the esteemed colleague Larry is joining us here. That's right, the Wolfman Larry is along for the ride today, distilling his knowledge upon us.
For those of you listening, first of all, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening. But for those of you guys listening, this is a Ghostface sweatshirt that I got recently that I'm super excited to wear this spooky season. It says, what's your favorite scary movie? Of course it does. But it is Ghostface at like the movies. He's got his knife, of course, a VHS, a roll of film, a popcorn bucket. Like, it's the whole nine. And it's pretty much me every spooky season, especially during Samhain or Halloween, when I am watching horror movies nonstop and then answering the door for little trick-or-treaters and scaring the shit out of them. And the other one that I have is, of course, a Halloween Michael Myers sweatshirt. It has him on holding a knife with his crazy hair. I'm just going to assume this is him, like the hair that he has in like 6, I think is what it is. Curse of Michael Myers. And it says Haddonfield Butcher Shop, I believe. Always fresh. Established 1978.
Did you get those off TikTok Shop or something? I
did get these both off TikTok Shop.
Wow, I'm smart.
Yeah, they came in, actually, at the time of this recording, they came in last night. And I am, like I said, I'm over the moon to wear these, but it's, even though we're super close to
for those
our
that
favorite
Christian
holiday.
is very wealthy, by the way.
I am not very wealthy. These were on TikTok Shop it was like 2 for like $20. And my wife was like, you know what? You want them, go for them. You're not going to find them again, like out in the world. And I was like, you're right. Yeah, I should.
Your wife was like, quit whining and talking to me about it. Just buy them and shut up.
That's honestly exactly what happens.
That's how it goes here. I'll be like, I don't know. Should I get something? And she'll be like, just buy it and shut up. Leave me alone.
Exactly. Leave me alone.
I'll be like, I can't afford it.
No, you don't want me to get it. I'm not going to get it. That's exactly what happens.
I mean, you gotta, those that are not married, this is how marriage works. You have to, you gotta have these conversations about financial decisions for the most part. And then she just buys stuff usually if she wants something. And I'm just
I will say my wife, like, she does the same thing I do. She will, come and talk about it and talk about it. I'm just like, dude, just get it. Unless it's something like ridiculous. She actually, no, she never wants to get anything ridiculous. I'm the one who buys ridiculous. As you guys know, if you've been listening or watching or both, you guys know I like to buy crazy, like, physical stuff. Comic books, movies, cards, sweatshirts off the TikTok Shop. Like, I'm up here doing stuff. And she's just like, I actually just want to buy something for our home. And I'm like, oh, yeah, of course. But anyway, I guess we will start getting into what we've been watching, reading, listening to, playing.
My week has been chaos, so I guess I'll start because it's probably lighter than yours, and I don't have a lot.
Okay.
My week has consisted of Baby Sin. The wifey has had to go in the office. She usually gets to work mostly remote. She's had to go in the office all week, so from early in the morning till pretty much dark, it has been me and the gremlin solo. And if you have ever had a 2-year-old, that is a tall task because they have nonstop supply of energy or in everything, and just don't stop talking. So that's been fun.
So true. So
So
true.
I do that, and then I work on spooky stuff for the spooky season. So yeah, I've been super crazy busy, but still getting in my 31 Nights of Horror, my tradition. The movies I've watched this week, I'm sure, is about to excite Christian. So before I do that, should I talk? I don't know. There's 2 things I know is gonna tickle Christian's little spooky sack, if you will. Yeah. Well, I mean, one of them's nothing spooky related, but I know it's gonna tickle that itch and get him going.
Okay.
What do you want first? Do you want movies or shows?
Let's talk about the shows first and save the movies.
Okay. First and foremost, the missus is totally about to yell at me if she's listening, but I have watched the new season so far that's out, which at the time of recording is 3 episodes. I am going to rewatch them with her because I want to rewatch them again, but I have watched What We Do in the Shadows new season episodes, and I love that show so much. That show is so good. It's just so much fun. It's really, really enjoyed it. It's the final season, and it is what it is. I'm going to rewatch it. Like I said, she hasn't got a chance to watch it yet. We started to watch it around the Gremlin, and dude, I'm not going to lie, I was counting F-bombs for an FX show. So it comes on later, and I don't know what the quota is. Apparently it's changed. Dude, I was 20-something minutes into it, and they had dropped 8.
I didn't know that you could do
I
that.
was so caught off guard because I was like, oh, they dropped an F-bomb, and then they dropped another one, and then they dropped like 4 in a span of like minutes, like in one dialogue scene, and I was like, oh, okay. So it was pretty crazy, and the missus actually just brought me a tea for the podcast, so I'm fancy.
What kind of tea is it?
It's just like I don't even know what it is. Vocal tea? I don't know. I have no clue. Some kind of tea with honey. It's a straight up tea with honey in it.
I mean,
because my sinuses,
I'm a tea person.
Tennessee is tripping right now, and it will start off chilly in the morning with like a little frost, and then you'll be sweating your balls off by like afternoon.
I think I know what you said, but because you kind of cut out just a little bit, it sounded like you said Hennessy, but I think you said Tennessee.
Yeah, I didn't say Hennessy.
It sounded like you said Hennessy, and I was like, you don't drink Hennessy.
I've had Hennessy.
Funny. I mean, I think most people have had Hennessy, but like, drink Hennessy.
Yeah. Okay, so moving past that one to, if I had to watch the same shows my son watches all the time, all week long, I would potentially run my head into a wall.
Of course.
So I threw him a curveball, and it has worked splendidly thus far. Okay. Right before his nap time, I was like, all right, buddy, we're going to change it up. Let's go lay down, and we're going to watch Goku. Because it's worked before. He likes Tanjiro, and he likes Goku. I know he probably shouldn't be watching Demon Slayer, but, you know, Mugen Train or something, I try. He usually passes out before we get to anything good. He just likes Tanjiro. And so he was like, ooh, Goku, baby Goku. And I was like, sweet. So what saga have I never fully seen? The Majin Saga. So I went to Hulu, and they have Dragon Ball Z Kai, which, for those that don't know, pretty much cuts out all filler, correct?
That's right.
And it just goes to what you need. And I was like, Majin Saga, let's go. So we started, I think the episode we started was Goten and Trunks fighting in the junior tournament, which is literally like right as it's starting because the Majin people show up, like the whatever. So we've been watching the Majin Saga, me and him, and I'm not gonna lie, it's been pretty good. It's everything so far I wanted it to be. Cell's my all-time favorite saga, but so far this has been good. I will say this is probably the best Vegeta we have. God, it's like Vegeta's shining moment right now.
I mean, when it comes to the Vegeta, like we talked about Vegeta a little bit last week, and everybody who knows me knows I'm not the biggest Vegeta fan. Like, I used to straight up hate Vegeta, but now I just like, he's all right. Like, I tolerate him. Like, he's not my favorite. He's never been my favorite. He's never going to be my favorite. But I said this last week, and I stick to this. Vegeta has some of the best moments of Dragon Ball Z because he is that character. Like Piccolo, for example, right? Like, when Piccolo started, he was a villain. So we had some really cool moments, but Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are very different shows, right? They talk about very different things. So Vegeta gets to do a lot of really cool stuff because he's like that guy. He's Vegeta, right? He doesn't care. He talks a lot of crap. He likes to get up in people's faces, likes to toy with people, that kind of thing. So when you get to Majin Vegeta and all that stuff, that is one of the points for me, and it's different for pretty much everybody else in the world. But for me, like when Majin Vegeta shows up, like that's when I'm just like, I hate you the most because Goku calls him out like immediately. He's like, did you did you get taken over because like you're that weak or because you just wanted an excuse to fight me? Like, and I was just like, I mean, Goku is arguably one of the dumbest characters in the show, just like straight up intelligence wise. Vegeta's super smart and analytical when he needs to be, which is most of the time. But like even Goku immediately clocked this. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, I mean, this is a moment
I mean,
for
Vegeta has
Vegeta.
been
Like,
saying
don't.
like the episodes leading up, he's like, "It's our fight. You're not getting out of our rematch." Like it's literally all he's thinking about. He's got tunnel vision.
Yeah, but the part that I guess the part that bothers me is by this time Vegeta is like full on like a dad. You know what I'm saying? He's transcended from being like just Trunks's father to like Trunks's dad. Like this is your dad right now, my guy. Like he trains with you, he takes you out, he wants to know your interest, even though he acts like a dick about it. Like he's that guy. So like you have a whole ass family, and Goku has come back for one day to fight in this tournament, of course. Which sure, whatever, Dragon Ball rules. So he comes back to fight in this tournament, and like hopefully you guys get to fight. Hopefully you guys make it to the end, so you guys get to fight each other and see what's going on. The thing is, this man hasn't even met a whole ass member of his family yet. And today is the only day that he's been able to do it. They've said what 3 sentences to each other, and you don't give a damn about that. You only care about fighting this person. Yet you talk about how much you care about Bulma and Trunks later on, like after the fight, of course. Like, dog, you're the reason why Goku didn't even get to hang out with his son, bro. Like, again, Piccolo has to come in and essentially be the father figure to Goten, like he did to Gohan. And at this point, it's not just because Goku's dead; it's because Vegeta's selfish. It's just really
You want to
annoying.
hear something I think is gonna make you happy
Yeah.
before you go on a full rant? So I've been thinking about this. Like, obviously, it's known Future Trunks is my favorite. I love Future Trunks. Kid Trunks is okay. He's more annoying. Future Trunks just badass how he shows up. I've been thinking really hard, like, who is my second favorite? Like, if we take Future Trunks out, who do I go to next? Do I go to Kid Trunks? Dude, I think I have to go Gohan. But
Hey,
my
listen.
problem with Gohan
Yes.
is they screwed him so bad. Because multiple
Yeah.
times, Goku, who's essentially, for all intents and purposes, Superman, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, no matter what the obstacle is, somehow Goku's going to come out on top. Or,
Mhm.
yeah, for the most part. Says multiple times, Gohan, when you're mad, there's no one that can touch you strength-wise. You are the strongest. And Gohan, like, Gohan and Cell, chef's kiss. That kid Gohan there is just fan-damn-tastic. And one of the coolest scenes. So, I think Gohan's my second. Even Gohan as a team, Great Saiyaman's goofy. I don't really care for that. I like what they did with him in the recent movie, him finally getting his moment.
Yeah.
I think Gohan is my second, though.
Yeah, I will say 2 things. It's going to be more than 2 things because I know who I am as a person. But one of the things about Gohan I wanted to say was with Great Saiyaman, because I used to hate Great Saiyaman. I'm not going to lie. Like, I was not a fan. It wasn't me. But watching Dragon Ball Z, like, more than once and, like, really looking into these characters, I now understand why Gohan does the Great Saiyaman stuff, because I know he wants to like help out and fight crime every now and then without getting noticed because he's in school, and he just doesn't want the attention because he's a humble person. But like I've remembered Gohan doesn't really know a lot of people. Like all the people he knows are either people that he's either knocked out or killed, or like the friends that he fights with. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't know anyone. So I'm thinking, why would he do Great Saiyaman and do all this bullshit? And then I thought about it. This motherfucker spent a lot of time on Namek. And when he was on Namek, who did he come across? Other Namekians who were real shy and didn't really want to talk and didn't know who he was because he's an outsider, which is fair. And then he met like the Ginyu Force and and Frieza. So the Ginyu Force is a huge influence on this dude. So he couldn't go out here and be a superhero and act like Piccolo because Piccolo's fucking scary for all intents and purposes. So he acts like the Ginyu Force. Gohan remembers the Ginyu Force being goofy as fuck, but they were also very powerful. So it makes sense now watching it why he would choose to do all these stupid poses and do all this bullshit. Because remember when he fought the Ginyu Force, Raccoon broke his fucking neck, and like Goku showed up and gave him a sensu bean, and he somehow healed up and like was fine. But like even when they were doing all the poses and shit, then Goku shows up and like punches Jason in the face like mid sentence. Like that kind of thing happens. So like it made more sense to me why he chose to do that because he was a kid. They were really strong, but they were also really goofy. But like you didn't want to know who they were because they were so fucking silly and shit. And he also just like I said doesn't know any normal people. He only knows like fighters and like Cell and Frieza and all that stuff. So that made more sense to me. I still think it's goofy. Don't get me wrong. I still think it's goofy, but I don't hate it anymore. And then as far as him just getting shit on all the time, like yeah, I 100% agree. They say he's the strongest all the time, and then here he is reading books and like, why does Gohan have glasses? He's the only Saiyan in history that has glasses. Like that's insane to me. I mean, God, Lee, dude. Like it, I don't even hate his glasses. It's just one of the things that adds to the disdain that people feel.
Are they gonna do
for
Goten
him.
like that as he gets older? Are they gonna like Chi Chi's gonna make him where he has to be more studious and not fighting like Goku?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
like
it's gonna
that's
be a
happening in
cycle of the
the
same thing. Like Goten's gonna get to a certain level, and they're gonna be like, "Nope, that's it. Now you're just gonna be in the books."
yeah. Goten and Trunks are famously weaker than a lot of other people. Like their whole gimmick is fusing together, right? Like they had a whole arc right now in the comics where they were out here doing great Saiyaman shit. Like I know we were just talking about it, but they're doing that shit too as teenagers, like Gohan was. And it is really goofy and nobody likes it. But like, I mean, just because they're Saiyans doesn't mean they're the strongest things in the world. Like Gohan it's different now because of Daima. But if I don't bring Daima in because you haven't watched that yet, like Gohan is
I've watched the
special.
first episode of Dama.
Oh, well, then they talk about like Namekians being a part of like the demon realm and shit, and that being the type of power Piccolo could tap into slash Gohan could tap into because that was his master, and that's how he learned how to do stuff. So like that makes more sense now. But like if you take that out of it, Gohan's just this special case. Like he gets super pissed off, and he has like those Broly moments where he just has uncontrollable, untapped power, and that's really cool. And then you were talking about Cell. This is the last thing I'll say so we can move on. But you were talking about Cell earlier and how that's Chef's Kiss. One of my favorite things about Gohan fighting Cell was before Gohan even fought Cell. When Goku fought and then stopped and told Gohan it was his turn, and everybody's like, "What the fuck are you talking about, Goku?" And then Goku goes to Gohan and says, "Like, when I was fighting Cell, you thought that I still had more power, didn't you?" He said, "You thought that I was holding back." He said, "You think that, don't you?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course you're holding back." And he was like, "You think I'm holding back because you're comparing my power level to your power level, aren't you?" And he was like, "Well, yeah, because we trained together. So I thought you were stronger than me." And he's like, "No, you're stronger than me." And I love that because one, that's the first thing Goku told Gohan when they went into the hyperbolic time chamber was my whole goal is to make you stronger than me. And Gohan's like, "What? How's that gonna happen? Nobody can be stronger than you." Like, of course, because that's his dad. So he hangs the moon for what Gohan knows. But like Gohan is just that fucking strong, but he doesn't know how to tap into that power and how to use that power like a warrior because he's not a warrior, which really gets annoying. But that's another conversation. I just wanted to say those couple of things. And as far as favorite characters go, my favorite version of Gohan is actually not even the Super Saiyan 2 version of Gohan that we know and love, like from the Cell Saga. I love future Gohan from future Trunks's world, that his future. That's the Gohan that I'm like, that's the Gohan. The only thing that I would change about future Gohan is instead of him taking after his dad so much, I would have done the opposite and done Piccolo. But we get our version, our timeline of Gohan taking after Piccolo so much anyway. So it was like it was fine. But that's just how I would change things because Piccolo, like I said, in that future, he only trained with Piccolo. So it just makes more sense to me for him to take after Piccolo instead of taking after Goku. But I mean, that the version of that character is so cool, and we only see him for a second anyway. That it was really nice to see. I loved him being Super Saiyan. I loved how he looked. I loved the scar on his face. I love what he stood for. Like all of that's awesome. So I really enjoyed that. But yeah, man, I'm glad you guys are watching that. That's awesome, and you got me, ranting. So good for you.
I think I picked well. I feel like Boo's keeping his attention, which he liked the Cell Saga because obviously I picked that one. I was like, I'm going straight to Cell whenever we watched. I don't know, last year or whatever. This time I was like, something different. Maybe he'll like Boo because especially when Boo first comes out, he's real cartoony and like goofy and he's already laughed at Boo a couple times, like stomping around saying stuff. So I think I picked well. And plus, Goten and Trunks, he sees them, he's like babies, like me. He like relates to they're more my size. They're flying around and being goofy, being kids, getting into trouble. And I don't know. I think he doesn't complain about it, and then he'll sit there and watch it. And then the other night, like we turned it off, and he was like, "More Goku." And I'm like, yeah, that's my boy, proud father moment. Like, I am all for this, son. I will teach you the way.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to get off that, though. I figured Christian would get excited about that. My movies for the week. 31 Nights of Horror. I believe where I picked up after the last recording. House of 1,000 Corpses. Classic. I will say, though, it is my second favorite of the trilogy. Devil's Rejects is my first. I'd probably go Devil's Rejects, House of 1,000 Corpses, Hell's 3. Would probably be how I would rank them. Me personally.
That's fair. I mean, honestly, I have the exact same ranking. Yeah.
Yeah. The
exact same.
Okay. My problem with small rant, Hell's 3 or whatever. 3 from Hell. Sorry, I don't know why I said it that way. 3 from Hell.
Yeah.
Lacks Spalding. If it had Spalding, it would be better. Captain Spalding to me makes that franchise. He is a crucial part. He brings that crude humor and ruthlessness and all that. Like, I don't know. He adds an element that I really enjoy in that.
I agree.
Next movie, not gonna lie, I think I wanted to watch it last year and I didn't get to watch it. And it's something I've wanted to see for a while, so it was a perfect opportunity. Nefarious.
Have I seen Nefarious?
If you haven't seen Nefarious, I want you to go watch it.
Let me look that up.
Like,
real quick,
I would actually rewatch it for cinema.
Hold on. Let me look. While you're talking, I'm gonna look that up because I don't remember if I watched it or not.
Nefarious stars Sean Patrick, whatever I think's his name, from Boondock Saints. I can't think of the other actor, but essentially, long story short, Nefarious is about a serial killer that's on death row, literally going to get executed this night when the movie's taking place. His shrink, whatever, that is supposed to deem whether or not he's sane or insane and can live up to the sentence, or if he needs to go to a psych ward, whatever, commits suicide and dies.
When did it come out?
Last year, 2023. Okay. Or he
mysteriously I haven't seen it.
Dies, whatever. And then they appoint this new one to come, and the serial killer informs him he's a demon and all this stuff. And it is not a lot of scene changes, but dude, I'm not gonna lie, I was interested and invested the whole movie. The dialogue, the acting from Sean, what is his name? Sean Patrick something. Are you seeing it? Do you know who I'm talking about?
Flannery?
Yeah, there we go.
Flannery?
His acting,
Flannery.
He did so good. Mrs. Sin, who notoriously passes out during movies and will doze, was interested. It is not, I will go ahead and let you guys know, it's not a lot of action, not a lot of stuff going on. A lot of dialogue, but very, very interesting, very good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. If Christian's down, we could throw that on the cinema list because I would totally love to rewatch it and discuss it with Christian at length. It is on, I believe, Prime and maybe some other places too.
Okay.
Anyways, next movie, I'm going to jump around just a little bit. I'm going to actually skip ahead what the next movie was because I know this is going to spark conversation. So, I watched Evil Dead 2013. And then I watched Evil Dead Rise.
Personal favorite. 2013, the remake is my personal favorite. I love it.
So I've watched those two again because whenever I did it, I knew I had to watch Evil Dead Rise after Evil Dead 2013 just to kind of go with it. And I'm trying to remember, is Rise a prequel to Evil Dead?
No, Rise isn't a prequel. It's its own thing. It's its
But
own
it doesn't
thing.
it
So like,
correlate something with like the woods because they bring up something about going to a woods or something.
no, I don't. They no because the main
Or is it that's
sister, the
two
main
different books?
character. Yeah,
Okay.
it's supposed to be three different Necronomicon books. You have the one from the original with Sam Raimi. Then you have this Necronomicon from Evil Dead Rise, and you also have a Necronomicon from Evil Dead
The
2013. They're
Necronomicon.
different books. Yeah, they're different books, so different people going through different shit.
Okay. All right. So I've watched both of those. I'm not sure what I'm watching tonight. Time recording this. And of course, I watched something for cinema. But the last movie that I watched, that I want to talk about because we've taken up way too long on my portion of it. But Alien Romulus, I watched it. I saved that one because I know there is no way Christian cannot say something about it with me saying that.
Listen, I know that some people don't like Alien Romulus, and there are parts
Well,
of that
okay,
movie
pause,
that I
pause,
understand.
pause, pause.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What is the reason for them not liking it? I'm just curious.
Some people don't like it because they don't like the direction, they don't like the characters in the movie, minus Andy, and they don't like the acting. That's
What
what
do
I've
you mean
been hearing the
direction? Just like
most.
how the director, like, what do you mean?
They just don't like the avenues that they took. They don't like, other than Andy. Some people think that the movie is trash. I don't agree.
Okay,
I
pause
don't agree at
again.
all.
One more thing.
Mhm.
Did I see correctly? The director for Alien Romulus is also the director for Evil Dead 2013.
That's correct.
Okay, you can definitely tell on the movie poster. Like, loves some red.
Oh yeah,
Loves the
blood,
usage of the
red.
color red within the film as well, not just the poster.
Yes, red lights, bro.
Red
Love it.
lights are good.
I
Used
love
right, red lights, yes, very well.
I love when horror movies feature. I love when movies in general feature red lights. Some of my favorite movies feature prominently red lights. Halloween 2, the original sequel, Halloween 2, from the 80s, red lights. Um, Evil Dead Rise, red lights. Romulus, like we're talking about right now, red lights. The Batman, red lights. Like, bro, red lights set shit off in a movie in a primal way that hits something in my brain, that just tickles my brain the best way. But with Romulus, not only did I love that movie, I think that the soundtrack was hidden, and I really want to get the vinyl for that. I love the soundtrack. Andy was a really good way to bring in a new android without us counting on Michael Fassbender, who also could have been the android in this movie. Easily could have been the android in this movie, because we know that his version, David and all them, those are like they're all different androids, so that could have been perfect as well. The only thing that I didn't really care for in the movie, there's a scene now that I can talk about it. There's a scene where a xenomorph saves our main character from falling to her death. That part was kind of weird, and it took me a minute to really think about, but I've realized that he saves her, or it saves her. No, it is a he, because they're drones. Sorry. Anyway, it saves her because they're supposed to be capturing people and using them to birth more xenomorphs, right? They're supposed to be infecting these people. But okay, they're only killing them if they have to. So if they're getting shot at or whatever, the people are fighting back, then they kill them. But other than that, they're supposed to be impregnating all these people. So it makes more sense. But when I was watching the movie in the theaters, I was like, wait, what the fuck? So that threw me off. Um, the other part that I didn't care for was when we get the like the Ash android like cameo, because it's a different android than Ash from the original Alien, but like we didn't really need that CGI cameo. Like we didn't need that. And now that I'm thinking about it, I did have another issue with the film, and it's one of the scarier parts that you see in all the trailers. But it's the part where they go into the super cold ass room where the facehuggers are like kind of dormant, and then they walk into the room and they try to get through there really quickly without setting them off. That part is annoying because as soon as they open that door, they're getting all the heat from outside coming in. So like they would immediately start rushing to the door. But suspense, you suspend your disbelief, and the suspense was real. So I really did enjoy that part. I just when I thought about it, it was annoying. But the movie itself, dude, fantastic. Love the xenomorphs. Love the direction. Love the way that the movie was filmed. It was a beautiful movie. Like I said, the soundtrack slapped. The actual horror in the film slapped. And when you get to the third act, people say this all the time, and I was like, whatever the third act. Dog. When I saw this movie in theaters and we finally got to the third act, I was like, what in the fuck am I looking at right now? This is crazy. And it was so cool. This like I forget what they called it in the credits, and I'll look it up here in a second.
You talking about
But the way this,
the original like creature?
yeah,
Yeah,
it,
that was I like that. That was a cool spin. Like it was different.
it looked really gross but cool, and the way that it was birthed was really gross and really cool. And I just enjoyed the shit out of that, dude. It was cool as fuck to me, man.
Well, those that hate the movie are wrong. I'm just gonna say it was. I think it was a really good Alien movie.
I gave it a 4, like out of 5. I gave it a 4 out of 5, and then out of 10, I gave it an 8 out of 10. Like I really liked the movie. I am going to own this one for sure. Like I really, really liked it. It was dope. There's plenty of things positive that I could say about the movie, but like just know that it's one of those ones that I really enjoyed, and I'm so glad I got to experience it on big screen. It was just one of those films. I really liked it. Main character I thought I wasn't gonna like. I know Andy the android was the best part of the movie. Like he was the best character for sure. I got a lot of like hints to like subtle racism in that movie. Classism was in that movie with that character, and also like you can get some like homophobia from some of the characters because of him as well. Like he was like the stand-in for all of that, and I think Fede Alvarez really gave us something cool with this one, man. And I'm excited to see whatever his next film is going to be. I really liked it. And the creature that I'm talking about, it's called the Offspring in the credits.
Yeah.
That's what they.
It was cool.
Called it.
And
it was a guy in a suit. It wasn't just CGI the whole time.
If without us going into too much detail, if you'd like to hear a full breakdown, or maybe me and Christian rewatch it again and come back with detailed notes, let us know in the comments if you would like to have that, and we will go through and pick and critique Alien Romulus. If you haven't watched it, I recommend watching it, especially for spooky season. It's out for rent now. If you're an Alien fan, you like xenomorphs and stuff, and you want to see a lot of xenomorphs, because there is a lot, then definitely check it out. I highly recommend it. Don't listen to what people say. If people say it's bad, just don't listen to them. Go watch it for yourself. Make your own opinion. I personally liked it, and I'm not the most knowledgeable person on alien lore and everything, and I really enjoyed it and knew what was going on, and yeah. But yeah, so those are my movies, and that's what I've watched pretty much. One last thing before I'm sure we'll transition. I wanted to bring up a small thing that I've seen circulate in the internet before we pass the baton to Christian for what he's been into. And I really, 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 really want Christian's thoughts, and I have a feeling, I apologize, Christian, please keep your rant to a minimum, because I know you're going to rant. There is a rumor. And not only maybe it's not a rumor. There is people wanting and asking for a character to play the Joker. Have you seen this?
I don't think that I have.
People are wanting Art the Clown's David Howard Thornton to play the Joker because apparently he did a fan film as the Joker years ago, and there is footage released of him as said Joker. And people are now demanding and really wanting him to be cast in the Batman and like the new stuff going forward as the Joker. They're like, James Gunn, please don't screw this up. Make this your Joker. What are your thoughts on it? I didn't watch all the footage. I saw a little bit. He was more of an older school Joker, like more of like a Nicholson look, sort of. Green hair, slick back, makeup, no scars, no like anything like that. In the fan footage.
If you guys can see, if you're looking at this like on screen. I think this looks like him as the Joker. I think I just pulled it up.
Yes.
Okay.
So he's
Um,
what was that Joker from like way back, like Adam West and them?
you talking about Cesar Romero?
Yeah, isn't that kind of what he looks like there?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a combination of Cesar Romero and Jack Nicholson, for sure. Um, when I think about not just so without looking at this and just my thoughts, I understand why people want him to play the Joker. Totally understand. Do I agree with it? Not so much. And the reason for that is, and I'll keep it as simple as possible. I don't know how well he can act as a character like that has a whole lot of words and a whole lot of lines to speak. I think him playing Art the Clown and characters like Art the Clown are great. They make sense, and I think that he's a wonderful human. From what I understand, he's like fantastic, and I think that he's good at what he does. But we fans have a tendency to just want to fan cast people that we like in a role that's close to something else all the time, like Alan what's his name, uh, Rickson, who was Reacher and Thad in Blue Mountain State. He said that he would love to play Batman, and obviously that is a role that I would like to see him in. But do I think that that would happen ever? Absolutely not. I don't think that he would ever be Batman in any like meaningful uh, role necessarily. I think that at best he would get like animated Batman, just how Jensen Ackles was animated Batman. He was animated Red Hood. We really wanted him to be one of those characters, but DC doesn't like making money, so they wait for actors to age out of said roles before they hire somebody else. And as you can see, like James Gunn hired what's his name, Corn Sweat to play Superman, but he looks like young Henry Cavill. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he definitely has a look in his mind for these characters, and he wants them to be of a certain age so they can play these characters for like the next 10 years. But I just think that Mr. Thornton that plays Art, I think that him looking the role and him like being the role are two very different things. Um, but if he somehow did get cast, I wouldn't be mad about it. You know, I think that he's better suited for other characters like Art the Clown, like that weird Grinch movie that he came out with. The Mean One, I think, is what it was
Yeah,
called.
the
Like, I
Grinch
think
one.
he's better suited for. I think he's better suited for stuff like that. So, like, do I want to see him as Joker? No, not necessarily. But if he were cast in that role, would I be upset? No, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be upset.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. So let's get into what you've been watching, reading, and listening to. We've took up a lot of time of mine, and I apologize.
We did. I'll try to keep mine pretty short and sweet, the best of my ability. I know that last week for cinema we watched The Autopsy of Jane Doe. I actually went back and watched it a second time with my wife, and she enjoyed the movie as well. We had a really good time with it, and she, like I said, she really liked it. So that was really cool to see, and it was worth the second time viewing because I caught a lot of stuff that I didn't catch the first time. So that was nice. I also watched Grave Encounters for the first time. Actually, I had actually never seen that movie, and I had a movie day at the time of this recording last night with a friend of mine that you know as well. Will, if you're listening to this, we had fun watching Grave Encounters last night via Discord. That was cool. I also watched Bad Moon recently, the werewolf movie. I believe, Sin, you saw that this year already for your watches, right?
No, last year.
Last year, okay. Well, I watched Bad Moon. Bad Moon used to be my favorite werewolf movie of all time. It was my favorite werewolf movie of all time until recently, and I honestly can't remember what movie replaced it. But that was my favorite. Do I think it's a really good movie? Not necessarily, no, but it just ticked all the boxes for me. Got a werewolf that looked cool. It was bipedal. It was a guy in a suit, but didn't look super goofy. The animatronic mouth moved. It had like drool coming out of his mouth. It was brutal. He fucking killed people. It was a transformation scene that at the time I liked, but like watching it now, the transformation scene is awful. It's so bad. But we still got the werewolf that I wanted to see, and I still think that that's one of the cooler looking werewolves out of all the werewolf movies that we've ever gotten. That's one of my favorite like two leg bipedal looking werewolves. I really that was really cool. I also rewatched the 2020 Invisible Man. The movie's still fantastic. Still has one of my favorite kills of all time in it. Movie is very, very suspenseful. And if you haven't seen it, like, do yourself a favor. It's free right now for on like Freevee, so like go check it out. For sure, definitely worth a watch. And I also watched I think it was 2019 Candyman. I forgot a lot about the movie because I saw it like one night when I used to work from home, and I think I watched it one night at like 3 a.m. and kind of forgot about it. But I did watch that one again, and I think I actually liked it more this time than the first time. First time watching, I thought it was fine. Like I didn't really like it that much. But watching it again, I really liked it, and I think I understood more of what Mia DaCosta was trying to tell us. So I love that movie, and I wish that she wasn't responsible essentially for the Marvels movie that came out because that movie got shit canned, and she's probably not going to get a lot of directorial roles after that, which is sad because she deserves better. Um, yeah, man, that's what I've been watching as far as like reading. I literally forgot what book I just finished. I just straight forgot what I was reading because I already moved on to the next book. The next book is called Mary by Nat Cassidy, excuse me. And I've been hearing that I should read this book for like the better part of a year now, maybe 2 years. And I've finally started reading it. It's way longer than I expected it to be. But right now it's pretty good, and I couldn't tell you what it's about because it's kind of cerebral. It's a lot of shit happening right now, so I need to get. I'm like halfway through the book right now. I'm trying to speed through it because I really want to start reading Game of Thrones again. I just got the itch. So, and I'm on the third book, and I really want to start reading that. So I'm hoping that I can get through this one by the end of the week, and then move on to Game of Thrones. We'll see what happens. I've been drawing a lot, and as far as gaming goes, every chance I get to actually game, I'm playing Sparking Zero. Love that game. The story mode has me enthralled. Can't wait to get back online to start playing people. I'm not ready yet though. Like I don't have combos down. I don't have the teleportation to get away from attacks down yet. I just know how to like rush down people, attack the shit out of them, and then like block long enough to live if they shoot me with the ultimate move, and then keep going. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still learning, but it's really fun. And then aside from that, that's what I've been doing, listening, watching, like all that stuff. That's what I've been doing this week. I do have some news I wanted to bring up real quick. Sin, you probably already know this, but I want to bring it up on the while we have that.
Okay.
So we've talked about the Blade film on this podcast for like I don't know the last 4 years now, 5 years maybe,
Long time.
since 2000. Was it 2019 when we got the news? No, 2018 maybe. It doesn't even matter. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. We finally got some news on the film, and it was terrible news. The film is delayed indefinitely. They even took it off the schedule, and they replaced that movie with a new Predator film that's supposed to be coming out. So, for those of you who have seen Deadpool, Wolverine, you're gonna understand what I'm saying. But those of you who haven't seen it, skip a few seconds. But in that movie, we meet Wesley Snipes' Blade, and he says, "There's ever only gonna be one Blade." If we only knew how right he was, because it is true. There's only ever gonna be one Blade, because here we are again without a Blade in our life, and I think that's one of the biggest fumbles in Marvel history so far. They have like essentially canned this film, like ridiculously insane. And I've been reading a lot about the movie, and they changed it from being about Blade into being about his daughter, which literally nobody fucking cares about his daughter. Comics barely care about his daughter. I think she was in the last Blade comic book that he was featured in, but she was like a plot device, not really like a character that we needed to have in there. So Marvel doesn't even like her, so why are we trying to put her in a movie? We don't give a shit about her. We care about Blade. So insanity. It sucks. We're down bad, but hopefully something else will come up and we'll get something soon. But I do know for vampires, there is a Michael B. Jordan vampire movie coming out. I did see the trailer for that. It's called Sinners. And if you haven't seen that trailer, go watch it. First, Michael B. Jordan is swole as fuck.
That's
Second,
nothing new. He's
it,
always jacked.
he's always jacked, but like, good God, but like, I'm excited for this. So what happened was, I can't remember his name right now, but the guy who directed the first Black Panther movie that teams up with Michael B. Jordan a lot for like the Creed movies and stuff. They both went to Marvel because they wanted to make a Blade movie. Funny enough, and Marvel straight up told them no. They can't have a Blade. They can't make a vampire movie. Michael B. Jordan, like, we're not doing it. And Michael B. Jordan was like, well, I don't even need to be in the movie. I just want to act it. He did the same with DC. Like, he wanted to make a Superman movie. They told him no, but he wanted to do this movie, and they kept telling him no. So they just made their own movie, and that's what Sinners is. So when you get the opportunity, go watch that trailer and let me know what you think. I really enjoyed it. I'm excited to see the full movie. I don't even want to watch any more trailers. I just want to go see the movie. So I'm excited.
Okay. I did watch the werewolves trailer.
Mm.
I mean,
What'd
I
you
didn't
think?
even have to watch it. I already knew I was going to watch the movie, but yeah.
Fair enough.
It's
Fair enough.
werewolves and
Fair
purge.
enough.
Literally. It's the purge werewolves.
Exactly what it is, and I'm excited for that. And then as far as like news goes, I have two other things before we get into the meat and potatoes we're going to talk about tonight, and I'm going to go through those really quickly. One is the Venom 3, I think it's called Last Dance. Reviews are coming out in droves, and they seem to be lukewarm to positive. It's miles better than There Will Be Carnage, which is good news because that movie wasn't very good. And people are saying that this is the best Venom movie that we've gotten, but that's not a huge praise because the Venom movies that we already are like mid at best. So, I mean, it's a cool Tom Hardy Venom movie, but it's not really Venom. And weird shit that happens in the movies that people don't necessarily like, but it's there. People don't hate it.
Speaking,
So
I think you
that's cool.
asked this question when we talked about the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
The director or somebody come out and said that the main baddie, what's his name again?
Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah, that this is not the only time you see him. You're just starting. Because you kind of mentioned, like, if they're bringing him for this, that's a waste. They're pretty much saying, like, he's too strong. This is not. This is just, like, the start of his thing. So I think that kind of answered, like, one of the big critiques you had. Because you were like, if you bring him and then you crush him in one movie, then there's no way.
Exactly.
So that's
And
good that they're not
I'm
doing that, at least. They're maybe.
I'm glad that they're saying that they're not, and I hope that that's the case.
Yeah.
Because, like we were just saying, that would be a terrible thing. But at the same time, how far are they planning to go with this? Because I don't really see Kevin Feige bringing too many of these things into the Marvel universe, at least now, because um, he has to finish this phase that they're in right now. He has to wrap up like um, King the Conqueror, like that story has to get wrapped up immediately because of the stuff with that actor. We have the Doctor Doom shit that's getting ready to happen with all the multiverse stuff. So like, how are they gonna fix that? And I think Venom even makes a joke in this movie about he's tired of multiverse stuff. But like, that's a cool little joke for people who are tired of multiverse stuff. But the thing is, the people who read the comics, the people who like give a shit about Marvel aside from the movies, like, we want all the multiverse stuff. You know what I mean? Like, multiverse is one of the things that keeps comics interesting because you can do so many things with the multiverse, with other universe, all that stuff. It's fascinating stuff. But when you do the same stale stories all the time with the multiverse, that's when you don't want those things to continue. So I think that if they do the multiverse the way that honestly they should have been doing it this entire time, then people wouldn't be saying this kind of shit. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. The last bit of news that I had was Tom Holland of Spider-Man fame posted recently that he was pushing 30 and that he hasn't had a good film aside from Spider-Man, which is true. Like, most of the movies that he's been in haven't done really well, especially stuff that he starred in that wasn't Spider-Man. Like, people just don't care about the stuff that he chooses, the stuff that he's given outside of Spider-Man. And I don't think it's because he's not a good actor. I think it's because Spider-Man is one of those things that you do, and it's so much bigger than you think it is. It's so much bigger than you. It's so much bigger than us. it's huge. Spider-Man is the most recognizable character, comic book character in history. Like more so than Superman, more so than Batman. Spider-Man is the guy. You know what I'm saying? So to play that character in a way that people like, for one, and just in general at all on the big screen is a huge thing. But you also
Not
have
even
to
just to play that
understand that
character, but to play that character on like arguably some of the best Marvel films ever done too. Like he
mhm,
was one of the pieces in that.
exactly. Um, and I think Tom Holland, like he's a younger guy. Like we're older than so he's a young guy and he's complaining about being a successful person that only has one series of movies that are successful. And I'm like, dude, having one movie that made you $1 billion is better than having no movies and no dollars. You know what I'm saying? So like we can compare apples to oranges all day, but like at the end of the day, you are Spider-Man, my dude. And if that's not something that you wanted to do, then you should seriously reevaluate the decisions that you've made. Not that the studios are making. Like you chose this, you acted for this. So like if you want to do more movies, then do more movies. But the easiest way to do that is to make Spider-Man 4 and to make it the best Spider-Man movie that we're ever going to have, live action, win a fucking Oscar, win an Academy Award, whatever it is, win your award, and then make whatever movie you want. That's what you do. Look at Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. can make a movie about taking a dump if he wanted to. People would go see it. That's because he put in the work. You know what I'm saying? So like you got to do that. But with that said, Tom Holland did complain that he hates that he's not in movies that people like to go see aside from Spider-Man. After that, he got cast in a new movie from a director that makes some pretty good fucking movies, and that director is Christopher Nolan. He got cast as the lead character in an upcoming Christopher Nolan film, and that's literally all the information we have. We don't know what the movie is called. We don't know what it's about. We don't know when it's coming out. We just know that he chose Tom Holland to be his main lead. So
Okay.
good for him. Good for him.
I saw a Tom Holland rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. It could just be internet junk, but supposedly he wants to, um, like help a younger person like Robert Downey Jr. did him, and he would like to do that with a Miles, like an up and coming Miles that's going to eventually take the mantle, of Spider Man.
I think that's true and false. I think it's true in the sense that Tom Holland doesn't want to be Spider Man anymore, because that's what he's complaining about essentially.
Yeah.
He wants to do other shit that's not Spider Man. So yeah, he doesn't want to be Spider Man anymore. So I think it's true in that sense, and I think we, the fans, are saying that he just wants to help out another person be the new Spider Man. But like, think about it this way: people are always going to love and need a Peter Parker, but Miles is hot right now. I like Miles because he's a really good character, but people like Miles right now because he's hot, right? Like he's like the hot new character. So if Tom Holland were to be in another Spider-Man movie where they introduce a character and that person ends up being the Spider-Man of those films or whatever for a while, if not forever, and Tom Holland has effectively like made that rumor come true. And I think that that's something that if people were to ask him, he would hop on board and be like, yeah, I do want to do that. Which, like I said, I think is true and false. I think it's definitely true in a sense that it would be cool for him, it would look good for him, and he wouldn't mind doing it. But also, that's his out, because he's been saying for years that he doesn't want to play Spider-Man forever. He's been saying that, and I've said that on the podcast a couple of times that he said that. I know for a fact because I still have old notes from it. But like, man, you don't want to be Spider-Man? That's cool. Somebody's gonna do it, and other people have done it. And the next person that comes up, if they're a Miles character, dude, they have a mountain of shit on their shoulders that they have to go through. But the good part about this new actor to be Miles is they're going to be the first live action Miles Morales, and they will forever be remembered as that because that's their thing. Like Tobey Maguire is the first live action Spider-Man that we got. We got Andrew Garfield, and he has his own following, which I'm a part of. Then we got Tom Holland, which is the new following. So when we get a Miles, we haven't gotten Miles live action before. That's brand new. That's something that is special. You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait to see how that's going to be. I'm excited for whatever young actor they get to play this character, and I hope that script is tight, my boy. I hope that script is tight because he's gonna need it.
All right. Well, let's move along because we are running long. Okay, so we're gonna jump into Penguin episode.
Yeah,
five.
five,
Hell, I don't know.
five. Yeah,
Yeah, I think five's right.
it's five.
Okay.
It's five.
I didn't write down a lot of notes just because the week's been crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What can I say that already hasn't been said? The show's awesome. It does not disappoint week to week. It's fantastic. If you have not watched The Penguin, just go watch it. It doesn't matter if you're a comic book fan, if you like superhero movies or not. This, in all intents and purposes, is not a superhero movie. Think of it as a crime drama. And go watch it. Because it's essentially The Sopranos running around in Gotham, which, yes, we know Batman's there. But you're not getting superhero shit. You are straight up getting, like, organized crime and really good storytelling. So please just go watch it. Just trust me. I highly recommend it. My only notes I have is I love the fact that they're bringing current tech and apps like TikTok into this. You see Oz pull up TikTok to show one of the Maronis. I thought that was really clever. And then my other note, like I said, I don't have a lot, is Christian, I feel like you're going to like this. God damn, did it feel nice when Sophia shot Johnny.
Yes.
Man, when she capped him, I was like, about damn time. Thank you for just... And she did it without hesitation. She was just like, oh, okay, done.
Blew his fucking head off,
Yeah,
and I was excited.
And then dumped a whole bunch of money in his pool of blood. Sophia is a badass. And I will say her shrink that is now, for all intents and purposes, like her... I don't even know what to call him. Julian Rush, he is just drooling over. I wish he would chill out. He's just
can't help it, man. He saw her in that yellow dress.
I know, he is straight up in awe right now. He's just like, oh, I wants to be what you got. And just but yeah, she changes her name. No, well, it doesn't change. She goes back to her mother's maiden name, which is
Gigantes.
Yeah. So that's a little different from the comics, I believe. But
no,
she marries into that name in the comics, right?
In the comics, her husband's last name is Gigante. It wasn't like the whole mother thing, like guy from getting killed. No, like all that shit's for the show. So they're fusing some things and adding some other shit, but like that's her name now in the comics because she got married to somebody with that last name.
Other than that, though, I mean, Victor Oz, great storytelling. Victor is coming into his own more. He's getting more comfortable in his role, and you can definitely tell he's like embracing this is my chance to do more. You know, then kind of like what I'm trying to remember Oz's exact words, like something like in the hood, like do nothing or be nothing in the hood, or something like that. Pretty much saying like he's forever just gonna be that, you know.
Yeah, he's pretty in like 2 episodes ago. He pretty much told him like if he wants to go and die in the ghetto,
there
in the
projects, yeah, it was
like then he
like pretty much you're never gonna amount to anything. Go do what you or this is your chance to make your life worth a little more or something. It's just really good. I think it's cool. Skipping ahead because I know Christian has notes. The ending, the subway area. I don't know about you, but with the creepy, like the water, the leaking, everything, I got Batman Return vibes so much from Penguin Underground. And that's all I could think of was Batman Returns. And I was like, okay, that's so penguin-y right now for me. Like, this is more Penguin than Oz at this point. But that's about all my thoughts. Fantastic episode. I didn't write notes. Kind of like Christian has been. I don't go like it's not that I'm not planning to write notes. A, I'm busy, but B, whenever like the episode's on, I mostly just enjoy it. I mostly just like let it flow, and I just like really enjoy the episode. Still staying on the boat that this is the best show of 2024.
Oh yeah. I did something very similar to you this week. I was writing a bunch of notes, but I fell off of writing the notes because I was also just having a blast watching the show. I will say though, the few notes that I wrote, I'll go ahead and go over them at a time. But the episode begins with Oz and Victor burning up his purple car, which he finds out is like his chariot, and Victor apologizes for wrecking his chariot because he tells Vic the quick version of the Rex Calabrese story, which is the same story um, that he told Sophia's brother in episode 1 before he pissed him off and shot him. Oz clearly sees Victor as like himself when he was younger, and he wants Victor to be more like he was when he was younger. That's what he sees in that character. So there's symbolism in that. There's symbolism in his car and how he wants it to be like Rex Calabrese's like Cadillac. There's actually a lot of symbolism in this episode. So much so that I couldn't even write it all down because I was trying to actually watch the episode instead of just writing the whole time. But the old team picks them up. Ramones, excuse me. The Maronis have the Bliss now. They also have the lab, which we found out in the last episode. So like that's a bust. But Oz always has a plan, right? And he ends up getting on TikTok to watch Taj Maroney's TikTok to see like where he is in order to kidnap him.
How
And
much did
we
TikTok
see
pay them, you
immediately.
think?
I don't know, but enough
You know they
for
paid,
sure.
because I mean that's millions
Yeah,
of people are
that's
probably watching weekly, and there's your plug. Not that TikTok needs it necessarily, but
right.
smart promotion.
It's there. We see immediately that he's a d-bag, and his like name on TikTok is a view from the Taj, which is very clearly a nod to the Taj Mahal. I thought that was really silly. He gets kidnapped while getting a tattoo. He posts like on the TikTok, if you look at it on his says hashtag getting tatted, and then it has like the name, the location of the place that he's in. So that's how he gets found out so quickly. And he's got his headphones on like a dick, and he's getting tattooed like on his back, and all the people in there getting shot, and then he just gets kidnapped. Which, like I said, hilarious stuff. That was a really good, funny moment in the episode. Um, Victor starts to like love the life. You can see that he starts beating the shit out of Taj at one point, and Taj is scared of him, which is crazy because we know Victor as like the stuttering Stanley of this show. But I'm really glad that he's. I mean, I'm not glad that he's being a criminal, but Victor's my favorite character, so he's like coming into to himself at this part anyway. That kind of fizzles out a little bit later. But the Maronis are pissed. Sal tells Oz later that children are against the code. And I didn't write down exactly what Oz said because I was watching the show, but Oz pretty much says, fuck the code. He's never been a made man. He was never going to be a made man. So rules don't apply to him. And I was like, I mean, Sophia told us in the last episode that you were never a made man and blah, blah, blah. It makes sense to me. Or 2 episodes ago, she said that. I really enjoyed that. Oz gives his guys the war speech. He talks about how guys that aren't made men would just be muscle and they're going out there to die and all this other stuff. And I thought that was interesting because like, you can see Vic's reaction to that. He's starting to get kind of scared, which has him stuttering later in the episode because he's getting nervous again. He bribes a guard to kill Sal Maroni, which we see later doesn't fucking work. Sophia sends, I think her name is Gia, her niece, to the Brookside Children's Home, which she was telling her in the very last episode, what beautiful yellow dress. She was telling her that, she didn't have to worry about fighting monsters, that she was going to protect her, all this other stuff. And then in this episode, she just sends her away to a children's home. And I'm just like, we already know from watching The Batman that the Riddler let us know immediately that going to like any children's home in Gotham is absolutely the wrong way to go. They don't treat you right. You get abused in all of these homes because it's so corrupt in Gotham, which is one of the reasons why Bruce Wayne is, a decent human being and not a total POS. Because if his parents died and he didn't have Alfred and the children's home, he would be a trash person. Like that's kind of the yin and yang for him and Riddler in the first movie. But anyway, moving on. that I think I wrote more notes on that actually. I was just talking about how Sophia is probably ruining this child's life even more. I mean, obviously her parents are dead, but sending her to his home is going to mess her up even more. But I also wrote this down. Did you notice in this episode how much more visible and raw her scars are?
Yeah.
She's not hiding anything anymore. Like the scars on her neck, the scratches and everything, we see those very prominently when she's letting Gia go to the children's home, and she gets essentially accosted by Chief Mackenzie from the Batman, who had a scene in that movie. One of my favorite scenes, by the way, when Gordon's like, "What if you punch me in the face?" and he like runs out and he has to go to the roof and he does like the flight suit thing. I love that whole scene. That's like one of my favorite scenes of the Batman. But yeah, he shows up, which I was really excited about. I like audibly made noise when he popped up on the screen. Then we also see that she has Johnny Vitti tied up in her family's crypt, and she needs him to get her some untraceable money. But he doesn't want to help her because as soon as he gives her what she wants, she's just going to kill him, and that's what he's saying, which he's not wrong. Um, Victor starts stuttering again after he gets blindsided, thinks that he's going to war. After Penguin gives a speech, I forgot all about that. Um, Sophia is straight up water torturing Johnny Vitti, by the way, so she can get what she wants. I thought that was hilarious, and I was just like, yeah, fuck him up because he sucks, and literally nobody likes Johnny Vitti. He's the worst. Um, I also wrote down that Johnny reveals after being tortured that Isabel, which is Sophia's mom, was going to leave Carmine the night that she died or got killed, and she was also taking the kids away. And I don't know if you've seen this movie before, but this is similar but not the same to The Godfather 2. A lot of the stuff that happens in this show, The Penguin, is like directly taken from The Godfather and like reworked. It's a lot of little story beats that they have in both things. So I thought that was really cool to see. But I didn't really catch the Godfather references until this episode because then I started thinking back to old shit from other episodes. It's a lot of Godfather stuff in there, so that's really cool. Then we also know that Johnny was Isabel's cousin. He was trying to help her escape. He got her a car to get away, but she never showed up because she got killed by Carmine. And he feels like terrible guilt for bringing her into it and having them introduce each other to themselves. Like he introduced her to Carmine, so he feels really bad about it. But I think that Johnny Vitti is full of shit because he's always treated Sophia like total garbage. So like I just don't believe that he feels bad because he's been Carmine's like right hand man. He's been in the family working, making money, screwing everybody's wives and shit. Like he literally doesn't give a shit. He's just doing the same thing Oz does, just talk his way out of issues. But that's how I feel. They don't confirm that in the episode because he gets fucking shot in the face. But that's what I think that he's doing. Um, Vic goes to Penguin's mom's house. He's watching this movie called Gloria. I'm sure there's some symbolism in there, but I didn't try to figure. Vic lies to Mrs. Cobb and tells her that Oz killed the Maronis, and she's like super elated about it. She's over the moon, but her dementia is also kicking up real bad. So she's got the fridge open, the stove is on, she's got post-it notes everywhere, she's got mood swings, she's trying to burn the house down, like all kinds of stuff is happening, which is crazy. And she also has this big bruise on her arm while watching that. And this is around the part where I stopped taking notes and just started watching it for what it was. But I really liked how there was a juxtaposition between how Oz is getting his people together to like go against the other families and how Sophia is doing it. They're doing practically the exact same thing, just in different ways. Sophia is saying essentially that she needs people loyal to her, and she's essentially buying their loyalty. She gets that money from Vitti, like that untraceable money, pours it down like in his blood and stuff, and then watches those guys like all go for the money because she has her new people who won't go against her at this point because they are loyal to her. She's telling them the truth about everything, honestly, but she's still like using these guys, right? She doesn't give a shit about these people, if we're being real. And she's becoming more and more of her comic book counterpart. She's even wearing similar clothing that her character wears in the comics, which is really cool. In the comic, she has 3 scratches on her face that she gets from Catwoman, I think. I know her dad gets them from Catwoman, and I don't remember where she gets hers. I read Dark Victory once. It really wasn't like my cup of tea, but I remember her having those scratches on her face, and also I remember her being bald, which was in that book, which was crazy. But anyway, a lot of shit goes down, but essentially this is the episode where it's like in House of the Dragon, where each side is getting their army together, and then we go to the next episode, which is going to be the war. But in Game of Thrones, we got our army together, and then the season was over. So there is that. But I still steadfast to what you were saying earlier, Sin. This is the best show of this year. It's probably going to be the best show of this year, hands down. I don't think anything's coming out in the next 2 months that are going to be better than this. I just don't see it happening.
No.
But this was worth the wait. This was worth all the bullshit that we had to go through, that the brothers had to go through. This is fantastic. This is what shows should be like. You said it earlier. This isn't a superhero show. It's a show about characters that happen to be in a superhero comic. You know what I'm saying? This is a mafioso show, 100%. You said The Sopranos. I'm saying it's like Godfather 2. Same kind of deal. This is a gangster show. It's great. The acting is on point. Christina, whatever her last name is, that plays Sophia, is going to win an Emmy. There's no way that she's not. Like, we were all jazzed up on Colin Farrell being the Penguin, and then we get a few episodes in, and now everybody's talking about Sophia, which makes sense because she is intense, and she hasn't really played a character like this that I've seen before, which is really cool because all the stuff that she's been in before, the actress that plays Sophia, all been stuff that I don't really care about. That's not really my cup of tea. But seeing her in this, like, dude, I get it. I get it. Like, she's fantastic, and she's also a Batman fan. She's a fan of the character. She's a fan of the comics. She's wanted to play a Batman villain for years. There's interviews all over the internet about her. It's a she likes the character. They use costumes for her character as suits of armor, and then as the season goes down, she wears less and less, but not in a scandalous way. And like, she doesn't need as much armor because she's more confident in herself, which you fully see in this episode. She's showing off all her scars. She is like full on Sophia or Gigante is now, because she's changed the family name. All her family's gone. And I also forgot to mention, Penguin fucking burns the Maronis up, except for Sal. He's still out there, but he kills the mom, I forget her name, and then the son Taj, like, burns them alive. Fucking crazy. This is absolutely the worst thing we've seen Oz do in the season. This is probably one of the worst things that he's done so far as the Penguin character. So like, bro, I'm just excited. I'm just glad there's more episodes to the show. And once again, you can tell I really like the show because my favorite character was in the episode, but he wasn't super prominent in this episode, and I still had a great time. So 10 out of 10. I love what's happening. I can't wait to see more. I know when this season's over, it's supposed to lead us directly into the Batman 2. I'm just really excited to see what they're cooking, man. And that's it.
It's, again, if you haven't watched it, you are missing out bad. Because, like I said, even people that don't like comics have told me, like, I'm watching it and it's awesome. And just go watch it. But I'm running low on time, so it is time. Christian, are you ready to you ready? All right, Here comes your favorite part, ladies and gentlemen, the very long intro and segue into cinema. Let's all go to the movies. And while this is going on, do you need to watch the Batman before the Penguin? You don't need to, but you should.
No. You definitely
Batman
don't need
is great.
to. It's not required at all.
They'll explain what you need to know going into this, pretty much.
You really, the only thing you need to know is that the Riddler fucked Gotham City up, but they explain that in several episodes.
They explain.
So if you have never seen it, if you've never seen the Batman, then you can watch the Penguin and be 100% a-okay. I just recommend watching the Batman because it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good movie. All right, but cinema. Speaking of good movies, this week we have The Burning from 1981. This one was recommended by Elf, I believe. I think this was an Elf recommendation. Burning,
Nice, Elf.
Christian. This is first time. Oh no, you've seen this before. This is my first time watching it.
Yeah, I forgot a lot about the movie. I've only seen this movie once, and that was when I was still a teenager. I forgot about it.
Okay, so I have very few notes because, again, your boy's been busy, so note taking I just was very behind on this week. I did, time recording this, I did watch this last night. So my very short notes on it are, it's an 80s slasher, 100% an 80s slasher. You can definitely tell, like I said, it's from 81, but it's that whole vibe. So that's cool. I have a question at the beginning when they burn the guy. Why the hell did he have gas in his room?
I don't know, because I
This
know
dude
that he
has
was the
a full
groundskeeper.
can of damn gasoline just by his bed. It's like, bro.
I know that he was like the keeper or whatever of this place.
But you don't put
maybe
that by your bed or even in your room.
I agree. There's a lot of stupid shit that happens in this
Yes,
movie.
there is.
I
So that was when I was
go.
just like, okay, whatever. And then the head, the skull thing, I got straight up Friday the 13th vibes from that, but I'll get in that momentarily. And the poor doctor in the scene after the burning of the guy getting burned, the poor new
Cropsy,
doctor.
I think is his name.
Who?
I think his name was Cropsy.
Yeah, he just gets straight up bullied by, I guess, the nurse, orderly, whatever that dude is. Dude is just straight up bullying him down the hall. And then...
He really is, being a dick.
Yeah, and then he fucks around and finds out, pretty much. Past that, this movie is almost exactly the opposite of Friday the 13th. If you think about it, like, both of them are at, like, a camp. Jason gets drowned. This dude gets burned. Like, it's just... Yeah, kind of same thing in a way. The one Biff guy, I was so happy when he died.
Shit, what was his name?
He dies later after having sex. He's like, what stupid line does he say? Don't go anywhere or something. Or like he says something really dumb, and I was like, oh my God. And then he gets got, and I was like, thank God for somebody taking him out. Like, it's about time.
He's like a 3-pump chump too, isn't he?
Yeah. We have Seinfeld dude in it. I can't think of his name. Young Seinfeld dude.
Like Glazer is the name of the dude that we're.
Dude, why was he always sweating too? You ever notice that? Like that dude, homie is sweating in every scene. Like they're not even doing anything. They're just sitting at the dinner table and he is sweating. Like he's been running.
He's so fucking pissed off all the time. He's just sweating.
Dude is legit like hair wet sweating. I'm like, bro, calm down. Yeah, man. Oh, what a movie. I don't know what to say about it. What a movie. My favorite part, Christian, you're going to appreciate this. My favorite part was when it was at the end when dude has the flamethrower, or right before he gets the flamethrower, when the dude falls through and he looks up, and instead of the actual shot being the girl like stabbed, it's a picture. So it goes to like a still in the movie. Like real quick, they flash to just straight still. Not even like a camera thing, just a still. And it's so obvious it's a still that I was like, damn. And they did it like 2 or 3 more times. Like, come on, guys. Like, damn. Y'all don't even try. They were just like, we got to get a still. We can't replicate this.
It is pretty funny. I can't. There's a couple parts in the movie that are like that.
I can give you the wife's rating. She said boo-boo shoes. That's what I heard last night from her.
Boo-boo shoes. Well, you didn't like it. That's real funny, though. That's really funny. I liked it more than she did. That's for sure.
What do you got? Let's see. What do you have notes?
I didn't write a whole lot of notes on this, just because of the nature of what it was, and also I'm not gonna read them all, just because, like I said, we've been out of time. But titties is the first note that I have.
Like I said,
second note that I have.
That's a requirement. Titties.
The second note that I have is titties. And the third note that I have is, oh my God, titties. There's a lot of titty in this movie. Right off the bat, like so much titty in this movie. Like
I wish that was all of your notes. I wish it was like, The Burning, 1981. Titties, titties, and titties. My rating is, and that's it. That was it.
Yeah, that's it. My rating is titties. That's it.
Can we talk about Homie
this
in the
is
Water?
which one?
He's like, let's go skinny dip. And she's like, no. And he's like, we've been back and forth, whatever, whatever. And he jumps up in the water, and then she comes in, titties in the water. And then they're like kissing and stuff, and then he's just like, man, and he's like splashing the water. Just, I'm gonna do some aggressive, angry laps. I'm like, what is this dude doing
Yeah,
with his life?
Eddie. Eddie
Like,
was
bro,
his name in the
get
movie.
your
Yeah,
life
Eddie was a
right.
total piece.
What does he
Eddie,
say to her? He calls her something, and I was like, oh my god, this movie.
something super misogynist. He's just
Yeah,
like,
it was really. I was just like, you can tell it's an '80s movie.
yeah, dude, shit was insane. First off, the first actual note that I have is this movie is giallo as fuck. It's extremely giallo. If you guys don't know what that means, it's like an Italian like slasher horror where we don't see the character. They typically wear gloves. They're stabbing women a lot, and it's like super bloody. Not necessarily gory, but it's really bloody. And it's
And we're
that like
using a pair of shears.
yeah, it's like that thick red like runny blood that you see in older films. It's like that. And it has the music is very 70s. The way the acting is very 70s. There's typically titties in those movies. And it's like dark in a weird way, but like this is 100% a giallo film, and I didn't realize that when I watched it years and years ago when I was a teenager. But seeing it now, 100%. Like that's literally the first thing I was like, this is a giallo film immediately. Cropsy is the name of the guy that we get. He's our Jason counterpart. He has a super burnt up face. This movie is very blatantly a Friday the 13th ripoff. And Tom Savini does the effects, which he also did the effects of the first Friday the 13th. And he said multiple times that this movie was a blatant ripoff of Friday the 13th, which we can clearly see.
Yeah.
The acting isn't very good in this movie. There's some weird scenes. But we're here for the Tom Savini like gore effects, and we're here for the kills. That's why we're here, and we get those. And there's kills on kills in this movie. Not all of them are great, but I think like the first on-screen kill we get from the actual killer, the Cropsy guy, is like he kills a prostitute that he like. So I'm assuming they're going to hook up. He goes into a room and like stabs her with. Is it with the shears or was it a knife? I don't remember. I think it's a knife that he has.
You gonna take
Stabs
the hat
her.
off, honey?
Yeah.
Leave it on. I've had weirder
I got
stuff.
I got
Like,
yeah, I got guys that want to do all kinds of weird stuff. And then he gets closer to her and it's like thundering outside or something. So she sees a little piece of his face. She's like, hey, just stay away from me. Get away. Get away. No. No, please. And he like stabs her and he like it's like legit stabs her, turns the knife a couple times like jerky twisty motion, then like pulls the knife up like while it's in her like abdomen, and then like pushes her very slowly out of a window, but she doesn't like fall out the window. She's just like on the glass hanging out the window. It's so ridiculous, but I loved it anyway. I mean, with this movie you know exactly what you're getting like 5 minutes in. Tom Savini, I'm pretty sure, is in the film in a like not as a cameo, but like he's like one of the bodies or whatever. It's a 90-minute, like 89, 90-minute horror film. It's quick, it's easy. I gave it a 7 out of 10. And that's me ranking it up. Like on Letterboxd, I gave it a 3 out of 5. Like it's a fun movie. It's quick. You get the kills, you get the titties, you get the misogyny, get the name calling in this movie that's very dated and weird, but like it's still fun, and it has one of the coolest like massacre scenes. The Cropsy is like hiding in this canoe that he stole, and the characters like raft up to the canoe to go get it back so they can ride in it, and then he just like pops up out of this fucking canoe and just starts spearing the fuck out of everybody. He slashes one person in their forehead, he cuts some bitch's throat, stabs another bitch in the neck. It's ridiculous. Like you don't see him, you just see like the arms of the character and like the shears stabbing and slashing at people. And it's silly as fuck, but I loved it. And there's just blood everywhere. Uh, just It's good. Like I said, Giallo is hell. So if you like Giallo films, you probably already seen it. But on the off chance you haven't, check it out. It's available right now on Amazon Prime at the time of this recording. Like I said, definitely go look at it. It's a classic. I recommend it to everybody who's into slash, into Giallo, who's into horror, definitely go see it. And if you want to see, a couple pairs of boobs, there you
Couple several.
go.
I gave it a 6. It's an 80s slasher. Like I said on my notes, it's an 80s slasher. If you like slashers, then this is right up your alley. If you enjoy 80s horror and 80s slashers, you probably have already seen this. But if not, The Burning, 1981, check it out. If you like Friday the 13th, get ready because it is, it's a rip-off of Friday the 13th. I mean, there's no way around it. Same kind of concept for the most part. And yeah, so Friday the 13th, but he got burned. And he used his shears. And there's titties. More titties.
Titties.
Like that should be the takeaway from this. All right, so do we want to lock in next week's? Do we want to curveball it and talk Alien Romulus or Nefarious, or do we want to stick to the list?
I mean, I'm cool with a curveball, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't mind that.
Which one would you rather do? I'm not gonna lie. I would watch Nefarious again, or I'll watch Alien Romulus again more in detail. I know we just talked about it, but
I mean, let's ask those in the chat right now what they would rather hear.
Just to
Jordan, where you at?
Switch it
you
up.
In there? Tell us which one you rather hear us talk about. We'll give you a second.
I'll give you spoilers though. Nefarious, no titties.
I'm out. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Actually, Alien Romulus, no titties either.
No titties in that one either. Yeah, that's correct.
I mean, you kind of have to say if it's gonna be a 70s or 80s movie, a horror movie, the chance of seeing boobs are pretty high.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
for sure.
I would say I'm gonna say about 78%.
While they, okay, you talked me into this one. I feel that. While the chat is figuring out which one they would rather hear us talk about, anything else you wanted to throw out there for the listeners?
I hope everybody's enjoying their spooky season. Time of recording this, I guess what I am for Halloween or my costume for the year will be unveiled already.
Nice.
And hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I definitely like to know what you thought about it. I'm pretty proud of this one. I got a lot. I say that every year, but I have over the last years. I feel like I've upped it. This one, I'm pretty proud of. This one was a lot, quite a bit of work.
Did you build this one?
Some.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty proud of it, though. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be so good that, yeah, I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just going to say, like, yeah, I don't want to say anything else. I don't want to, like, give any hints on it. I'm pretty happy with it, though.
Jordan says he's never heard of or seen Nefarious, so he's going with that one.
Okay. Did he say that in chat?
No, he said the message to me. He had to hop off for a second.
I think Nefarious would be like, I think you would be interested in it just because I feel like it's a lot of interesting content. Mm-hmm. And I would love to hear what you think about the acting and stuff in it. Mm-hmm. The counterpart to the guy I was talking about, only reason I know him and the only thing I know him from is Entourage. He was Adam Davies, which is like not a huge role, but he's a part in the show. And that's the only thing I know him from. But, yeah. I'd be down to talk Nefarious and rewatch it.
What was that streaming on?
Prime or Peacock? Might be Prime. I watched it on one the other day. I don't remember which one I watched it on.
All right, let me try. I actually had to cancel my Peacock subscription because I was going to get charged like hell of money for that thing.
Why?
My year subscription was running out. It runs out next month. So it was going to charge me a whole bunch. It was like almost $80, dude. It was like $75.
Why don't you just pay monthly?
Like, no, I won't do it. I didn't really want to. The reason why I got it in general sale for Black Friday last year, and the year was $20. So I paid $20 to have it for a year. So the time is up. So hopefully this Black Friday they'll have another sale like that, and I'll get it.
That's pretty good. It looks like it is on Peacock, Pluto, Tubi, and Amazon Prime, and also possibly Plex.
Let's check Prime. Fairies. Let's see if it's on there.
Yes. Jordan come in chat and said Peacock actually has pretty good old school horror movies. Yes, Peacock actually has a really solid horror collection, especially this time of year. They usually do a pretty good job of having some stuff on there. They're one of my go-to to look for like horror movies usually.
I'll tell you what app you guys are sleeping on that has good old stuff. Tubi. Tubi's got some pretty decent shit on it, man. I highly recommend.
Did you find Nefarious?
I didn't find it on Prime, so I'm gonna have to watch Peacock.
Or do you have? Is Pluto free?
Pluto might be free. I'll check.
Did I say Tubi?
Did not say Tubi.
Did I not say Tubi? Are you sure? What did I say?
You didn't.
Yes, I did. Tubi free.
It's on Tubi?
Yeah, it's on Tubi.
Hold on. If it's on Tubi, then I'm gonna add it right.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna plan for Nefarious. I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited. Like I said, it is not a lot of scenes, but it'll be fun to talk about because there is a lot of interesting discussions and stuff within this movie. So pretty solid. I think tonight I kind of want to watch Season of the Witch.
Ooh, that's cool.
I don't know what I want to watch though. Not sure. Not sure. All right. Well, while Christian does that, it is time. Unless Christian, you have anything else you want to add before we?
It's everything.
All right. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, that we
pass the whiskey.
That's right. Get your
whiskey.
Now, I definitely could use some whiskey right now because sinuses are just all up in my area over here, just messing me up this episode. Sorry for if you've heard me coughing. I've tried to not cough in you guys' ear holes. But yeah, blame Tennessee's crazy weather. Okay, last call question. What do we have this week? I have a feeling Jordan has something spicy lined up for us. We ran out of time this episode, and since this episode will be right before Halloween, I feel like we dropped the ball, but I had some fun pick'ems and lists for us. Christian, like, you can only rent 3 and a whole bunch of movies are listed, or pick one from each row that had a bunch of fun ones. One column that has like pretty much it starts with your 3 main slashers and then goes down the list. Like a bunch of fun pick'ems that would have been a lot of fun to talk about. So maybe we'll do them soon because I know we probably don't have time now to set all that up. Right. But Jordan's question is, let's say you started your own haunted house with money not being an issue. So what theme from a movie, show, or comic would you make your attraction, and what part in the attraction would you play? Chainsaw Man, Dead Body, narrator, etc. Ooh.
Let's see. I can start my own haunted house and have my own themes and stuff.
All right, I know what I would play right away because it's always my favorite thing to do. I would be a character to scare. So whether I'll have to come back to that because I'm thinking of what I would want to do exactly. But dressing up and being one of the people that scare within the haunted house is so much fun. I cannot tell you how much fun I've had. My brother, and you guys that have been around for a while, you've probably seen the YouTube videos. He used to go all out, and I would go be a scarer there. I'd help him, and like he would have like a whole maze, all kinds of crap. And last year he did it. I think it was a church group, like a hayride stopped. There was like 30 or 40 kids running through it once. And Christian, I scared them so many times. Like it was so bad. I was actually following them out of it, and they would wrap around, and I would just be in line with them, and they wouldn't even know until they would turn around to say something to a friend, and I would be there. And I was Michael, just tormenting everybody. I was just appearing because I knew all of his shortcuts and where he had for us to hide. So I kept like appearing in this room and would just stand there and wait till they'd walk up on me and like turn my head and then slowly start walking towards it. Oh, it was a blast. Just the screams nonstop. So I would do that for sure. Show or movie though?
There's two that I have in my head. First one is I would set it up if money wasn't an issue, then I would set it up to be uh, like running through the scenes from Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and I would be one of the clowns. Probably the big one that kills the cop in the jail. I forget his name. Jumbo, I think is his name.
Well, I think they
But
changed his name for some reason. It used to be Jumbo, and I think they've now changed it, which is whatever.
That's weird.
Yeah,
Right?
because whenever we bought Killer Clown stuff a couple years ago, he was Jumbo, but then it changed, and I don't know why. I don't know if it was like, I don't know, because it's Jumbo, Shorty, Slim, and then there's like two others. I think I can't remember their names.
Well, it would be either one of those, like one of the Killer Clowns whole set up, and I'd be one of the clowns because I think that'd be fun as fuck. And if not that one, then I would probably have a haunted house set up to the theme of the manga Berserk, and I would play. Ooh, who would I play? Oh man, probably Nosferatu Zod if I could.
I don't know who that is.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool as fuck. I like that a lot. I'd probably that.
Okay.
Or the Skull Knight, maybe.
Uh-huh.
One of those two.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't really know how you would do this, but I think a Saw would be interesting.
Oh,
obviously,
cool.
it couldn't like you couldn't kill your patrons.
Right, of course.
But
not.
they would have to be like some kind of thing like you survive, you move, maybe you move on, or I don't know. Like if you get something, can you get this? And like it couldn't like really hurt them. But I mean, and I'm not thinking of like a oh shit, what is that dude's name? What's the dude that's in trouble?
Shit, I don't remember.
You know what I'm talking about though? Like he does interviews, finds out your fears, and then they essentially like kidnap you and like they just torture you.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, what's his name? Starts with M.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about though. It wouldn't be like that.
Yeah, that guy.
I think it would be like almost like an escape room, maybe. But I don't know. I don't know if it'd be good enough. So money is no like oof. Man, there's a lot you could do. Haddonfield would be fun. Could you survive the Haddonfield experience? Haddonfield Hospital experience.
Oh, dude, from Halloween 2, that'd be fantastic. With red lights included,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Could imagine that. Like, you go in, you try to survive. Like, obviously, if Michael catches you, you're just out.
That would be sick. That'd be sick.
That'd be a lot of fun. I would love to play Michael. That would just be a blast. I want to say something werewolf themed, but I don't know how you would do that, even with money. Like, that'd be a lot of animatronics and stuff. That'd be really hard to do. So I'm going to stick with like a Haddonfield experience for now. That sounds good.
Okay. I think that's a good one.
You think it's a good one because you like the hospital. That's the big thing.
I do. Can't lie.
Yeah. Bro, you could just let people read Berserk and that would be traumatizing enough.
I mean that's pretty true. That's pretty true.
Not wrong. Man, what a crazy manga.
So good though. Still my favorite.
Craziness. But that's gonna do it for us. I don't think we have anything else.
That's it.
Kind of sad. This is the last episode before Halloween. But fear not, because spooky season never ends with us. It lives forever. And forever. And ever. And ever. I was trying to think if I had anything else for Christian. I have so many lists. All right, Christian, I got one for you. Final thing for spooky season. This should be an easy one.
All right.
All right, red pill, blue pill. Which one are you taking? You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Red pill. The Hitcher. The Ring. X. Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Megan, Misery. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Blue Pill, American Psycho, Signs, Midsommar, Jason X, Black Phone, and Stephen King's It.
Which pill was that?
Blue Pill.
Give me the blue one.
I think I have to go with you on that just because I'm not the biggest on Megan. Ring is good. X isn't bad. Love Misery. But I really love American Psycho. Black Phone's solid. And obviously Tim Curry and It. Classic.
So good. Yeah. You got to go with that one.
Blue Pill. Let us know in the comments, which one would you pick, red or blue? Pick your pill wisely. But that's going to do it for this episode. We appreciate you all watching, listening, or whatever. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being a part of another spooky season. Episode 118 is in the books. You can find new episodes every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Central Time on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and my YouTube, youtube.com/IamSinister. So go check that out. You can find Sippin With Sin on social media at Sippin With Sin, SIPPIN with Sin. Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, all that stuff. And then, of course, youtube.com/IamSinister. And you can find us live streaming these episodes on kick.com/IamSinister every Thursday. Yes, I know that currently time of recording this, it is a Wednesday. But listen, hey, and next week it'll actually be a Wednesday too because, Halloween stuff. But it is what it is. Hey, don't judge us. Usually it's on Thursdays, okay? It is what it is. Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time. Go show some love to us there or catch the episodes, share them with a friend, spread the word. We would greatly, 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 greatly appreciate it. Keep the show going and keep it growing. You can find me on my socials, IamSinister TV, on TikTok, Threads, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, all that stuff. You can find me live streaming kick.com/IamSinister and youtube.com/IamSinister for podcast stuff and things and other stuff and things. Like my other podcast, Behind the Vocals, it also goes live on my YouTube and then Apple and Spotify. And that's where you can find me. Again, spread the word. Thank you for watching, listening. We really, really appreciate you. Drop those cinema things for us to react to. And last call questions and all that good stuff. Christian, where can lovely folks find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Venin Inc. That's all one word. You guys can also find me on TikTok at Christian Vincent, which is my full name. That's the only two places you guys can find me right now because I try to probably believe I don't really social media that much. I will get on it soon.
No, he won't. He's lying. He's lying. That's going to do it for us. Spooky season may be coming to a close. But like I said, it's forever in our hearts. You don't have to go home, but you got to wander out into the dark, desolate streets with fall leaves rolling along gently and the sounds of wolves howling and things going bump in the night. Have fun and enjoy. And it's time for Christian to lock it down.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to yet another episode of Sipping With Sin. Be sure to leave a 5-star review, click that like button, hit us up in the comments, do all the things that we need you guys to do. By the way, we read them all. We love you guys so much. If you listen this far, you're a real one. We love you guys so much, and I'm going to leave you with 3 words. 3 words to leave you with every episode. If you've been here before, you know what they are. If you've never been here and this is somehow your first episode, listen very carefully because this might just save your life. Those 3 words are: don't get butted.
See you guys next week.